Hello guys, welcome to this little tutorial. I'll show you how you can download, install and use my Dungeondraft packs. It is very easy to do, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. You will find either on Patreon or Cartography Assets or any other shop that you get my assets from, you'll find usually two packs. It would be a zip file with the PNG images inside, and it will be a pack file. Sometimes this pack file can be inside the zip file, but you'll find it quite easily. Now, if you have your pack file, you just download it. I did it once before here, as you can see. And you keep downloading whatever else you want. If I want this asset pack, I do the same. Just download the pack file. In the zip file, you'll find the images. I'll just show you very quickly. So this is what that looks like. And there's all the different PNG images. You can edit these with ease. So, once you have your pack file, you will drag and drop these into the following. Inside your documents, there's going to be a folder called Dungeondraft Custom Assets. Okay. If this is not there for you, then you can create it. Just right-click inside your documents folder, right-click, and then New Folder, and then name it Dungeondraft Custom Assets with this exact wording. Once that's done, you just drag and drop your pack files in here. You can create further folders inside here if you want to organize stuff. I have a lot of 2-minute tabletop things, for example, so I just put them in a separate folder. I have all of my packs. So there we are. Once that is done, your pack is installed. You're done. That's all there is to it. You just drag it in here. Okay? Once that's done, you just open up your Dungeondraft. Important here to enable the pack. You do that inside Assets at the top. You see I have a ton of 2-minute tabletop, as I said. If you guys don't know him, then check out his work. It's very amazing. Anyways, we're looking for BluBerry, so everything will be titled as BB, as BluBerry. So it's going to be easy for you to find. And also at the author, you will see BluBerry said there. So you find whatever pack you just installed, and you make sure it's ticked on. That's all. And then you click accept. Now your asset packs are installed and enabled. So once that's done, just go and you can create a new map. With the new map, important to note that the width and height should be dividable by 3 because every tile is 3 by 3 inside Dungeondraft. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So let's say we want something like... We want to make a big city, so let's say we want a 30 by 30 square map. Okay? So you're done there, you click OK. It's gonna load assets. For me it takes a while because I have a ton of packs installed. For you it will probably take like 5 seconds. But here we are. And also feel free to do this while I'm explaining things. So open up your Dungeondraft and just, follow along. Here is our map with the default ground texture and the grid enabled. On the left side, you'll see your main tools. Okay, there's pretty much only 3 that you will use if you are using my assets. One of them will be inside the second option here called terrain. You see that little icon. You go into terrain brush. And here you can select, if you scroll down, so you see BB again, everything's labeled with BB. There's some lava you can place. There is desert color. There's all the separate colors that you might want to use, dependent on what kind of maps you're making. Some of them have texture like this snow one. There's also the grass one that is textured. Where is it? There it is. You see here. So yeah, that might be one you want to use. Then there's path tool. That again features my paths. You just click, and then every time you click again, you place a anchor point where you can move the path around and just keep going. Same with roads, same with walls. Very easy to do. There's a fade in, fade out feature I sometimes use here for roads especially. I'll show you how that looks. So we choose a country road, let's say, and we place it. And you see it fades with a specific amount. You can also do enable snapping here. Sorry, disable snapping. So you can create smoother paths. You see I can place my cursor anywhere now. If snapping is enabled, the cursor snaps to the points of the grid. In the middle, or the sides, or the corners, you'll get a snapping point. If I switch this off, much smoother. So, those are the paths. Now we get into the thick of it, which is objects. So you go one down into object tool, you select this barrel looking thing, and here you'll find the objects. You scroll down if you have a lot of 2-minute tabletop stuff like I do. But the packs will be at B because BluBerry, again everything's labeled BB. At the top you'll find your asset packs with the individual assets you see at the side here. These are the Dwarven ones, the Elven assets, Desert, whatever else you have installed. Okay. You can use this search function, however it's not the best. If I want to search for something like tower, I can do it, but as you can see it puts up flower as well because it sounds similar to tower. I can make the search more exact and eliminate some of that, but if I make it too exact you'll see some of my towers actually get removed for some reason. It's not the best feature. I would advise against using it. There's not that many tiles that you actually need this. It can be handy, up to you. Like, do your own thing really. But it is there if you want it. Anyways, I use this always on the left, this tag selection. Every pack is separately packaged, as you can see. So it's quite easy to maneuver between them. And the neat feature is you can use multiples. So if I want to use all the human assets, I can select my basic assets, my house assets, and then I can go Keeps and Castles, Rivers Running Pack, Rugs and Riches, Seas and Shores, and my base pack, and let's say I want the Patreon tiles too. So if I have everything selected, you scroll down, everything that I selected will be listed here. It's a very nice feature to, you know, search for stuff. Let's say I want forts especially and castles, so I'm gonna click here, look through what I have, you know. It will take a while for you to learn the packs and learn what's in each of them. That's just a lot, so I can't really help you there, it just takes time. In the future I plan to make videos on showcases on the maps as well. Every pack will have a separate video for it, and I'll explain what's in it and how you can use it. So keep on the lookout for those. By the time you're watching this, there might be some of them up already. But anyways, let's get to building, eh? So what I like to do is use tiles for a general layout. I sometimes sketch out as well what I would like to do, like where the forts are and things like that. Now we're just gonna do a very basic coastal city, because I like coastal cities. So, because we are doing a coastal city, I would start with the coast. It's pretty much a given, right? So we're gonna go into Seas and Shores, which has most of the coastline tiles here. Now, important to note with tiles, you actually want snapping. So you want them to align neatly, and I'll show you what I mean. Oh yeah, one more thing. At the side you see this option called shadow. Make sure you switch that off. You see on the side of the tiles, I'll show you why that's an issue. If I place multiple tiles down, you'll see how the shadows stack on each other, and they create these like very, very jarring dark lines, and this grid. It doesn't look good. So make sure you switch that off. Alright? So it's nice and clean. Once that's done, oh yeah, and here you can disable or enable the grid. I would suggest at the beginning especially to use the grid. What I do usually is I start away from the edge, because if I don't want to fill it out in future, I can cut it off quite easily. You can change your map size here. Menu, change map size, and you know, you can cut away different sides or expand different sides. Like, okay, I need to change the map So, let's start building. Let's say I want my corner of my town to be here. Let's keep building it out. You see the coastlines connect corner to corner. Again, I'll make a separate video on using these, so don't worry about that. I will explain it further there. Very important tool to use with the tiles. You see this doesn't really line up that well. It's quite narrow, the path it creates there. So what you can do is hold A, that will mirror. You can see actually at the bottom here. Sorry, I want to show it to you. There we go. So at the bottom you see here it says hold A to mirror. And then right click is a 90-degree turn. And then Z is slow rotate. You won't need this with the tiles anyways. Holding Alt is scaling. Again, you won't really need this. Everything scales to work perfectly with each other. You will mostly use scroll wheel and A to mirror. And that's about it. So here, to make it fit better, I hold A and I have a thicker section connecting there. So there we go. There's so many ways to use these. It's, you know, it would take a while to mention all of them. There's so many cool things you can do with them, mix and match them around. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail there, but yeah, experiment, you know. Learn the packs, see what you can do. So there we go. It's a cool little coastline section, I guess. Let's close it off here by doing, let's see. This is a cool point about repeating tiles. So point of the tiles is that you can repeat them. You see this is the exact same tile that I put down here. But I rotate it away 90 degrees and your eye doesn't really pick it up as being the same. This is how you can repeat multiple tiles even next to each other and you won't be able to notice. I can put it even here, right next to the other one, and connect it up and you can't really tell that it's the same. It's very hard for your eye to figure out the geometry. So that's the power of the tiles there. Be careful, if I hold A now and flip this, you'll see that in the corner it already becomes a 45-degree mirror now of each other. So that looks very artificial and jarring. So make sure you don't do this, okay? So if you repeat tiles, make sure it looks organic and you change the geometry a little bit. If that makes sense. So, let's keep going. Keep building it out a little bit here. And actually, I want to use some other shore assets. So if you look through the other packs, you will see that, I believe in keeps and castles especially, yep, there is this one, which is quite cool, that you can connect to shorelines. There is also, I believe, one in, yep, the base pack, which is these docks, right? Again, connects to the shoreline. You will see things like this. So I actually can swap this out to a lighthouse if I want to. The neat thing with the tiles is you can just like put one on top of the other. If you have this sorting over selected, if you have sorting under, it will go under the previously placed tile. If you have over, it's quite easy to, you know, keep building it, like changing things on the fly. So right now, let's say I want to change this to a lighthouse. There we go. Same thing goes here. Important to note, some of the walls you see won't line up. That's because these walls here are from the Keeps and Castles pack, and they are specifically made to be working together with the walls there. They are only meant to be placed to create a fort, like a high, yeah, fort, I guess, castle. So, you know, you can place them however you want. You can keep expanding it, and it will create a separate, higher up wall section. You see, it's sitting on cliffs here. So you can make your little fort out of that. There's so many things you can do here. Again, I won't go into too much detail, but you know, experiment for yourself, try things out, see what sticks. let's say I want to make this into a 3x3 little fortress here. So I'll select some wall tiles, again changing them around to not repeat things. You see there's 3 separate kinds of walls to help you do that. And the corners again are all separate here. So it's, you know, you can make a unique looking thing. You don't need to repeat tiles. And then, you know, place a fort in the middle maybe. Or you can place a cathedral. Or I can place a separate castle. Or maybe this one. There's so many options. Again, whatever works for you and your map. Right now I'm gonna stick with that, I think. So, that's done. Let's continue our shoreline. There's a few options we have here now. One of them would be to cap it off here, basically. So make it connect to the side. And that way, this map would become a more zoomed in city map, right? So this part will be cut off, basically. Now, you can expand that later if you want. I can just come in here, change map size, add some to the side. And now I can keep expanding here. So sure, let's keep it. Why not? I'll keep coming down. Again, these two are repeated, but they're quite far from each other. So your eye would be, you know, not led to that conclusion that they are the same. What you can do, however, is mirror it here, because it's quite far away, so it's harder for your eye to pick it up as it being the same. And then just keep going. Again, if it doesn't look quite right, like here, it looks very pointy, I just hold A to flip it to the more flat side. And there we go. We keep building out. Again, rotating this one so it doesn't look the same. You get the point, right? There we are. So, we have our shoreline done. Here actually I want to have a wall, so I'll Control Z. It works here. You can also use this undo or redo button. You see? So I want the wall section here, so actually let's do that. Is there an end wall? There it is. Again, holding A to make it fit. And there we are. Capped it off. And now we're just gonna give it, let's say, this to work for the side. Now we have our protrusion here of this city over this cliff side. And our shoreline is complete. If you follow the shoreline along, it is one line connecting all the way across to the other side. So that looks pretty good to me. Now I want to make sure that I see what's water and what isn't. So what you can do is I have in the base pack, you'll find just straight water tiles. And you can place these, you can make them bigger. It doesn't have any texture, it's just color. You know, you can fill these out. Make sure you put it under the tiles though, so you don't cover up any buildings. Okay, and that way you can just, you know, put these down, fill this out this way, and you're done. And it's starting to come together. But there's a better way, I think, to do it, which would be using the brushes. So we go back into the path tool and terrain brush, or sorry, this tool here, go to terrain brush, and then here we can select sea terrain, and then make this brush big and just bloop, color everything. There we go. Shouldn't matter that, you know, we go under here because we're gonna cover it with tiles anyway in a moment. But there we are, that's our sea, all colored in. So let's keep going with the city. Next up, as you can see, I like to do connecting tiles first, just to get the general layout. So the other connecting tiles would be walls. Or if I want to do river, then a river. I don't want to do a river here, so we're just gonna go to walls. I'm gonna go into our base pack, which is here. And also actually, I changed my mind. And you see how good the tiles are with changing things on the fly. I want to put another docks in at the bottom here. So I just go over and I replace that tile with a dock. So now I have 3 docks, an inner, like, you know, probably for kings and queens and higher up people. We have a pretty neat one with this Colossus standing in front of it. And we have our small little everyday docks at the side. You know, again, mix and match these, keep playing around with them. There's also this one that I could maybe fit in somewhere. Again, up to you, you know. Take your time, look through the tiles, see what works for you, and then run with it. So I might change this here, right? So I might go, actually I want this here. So now you can delete these tiles and place separate ones to make this work. So we can come back, go back to Seasoned Shores, and I might say that, you know, I want it this way now. I don't want that village there. So there you are. It's very easy, very fast. You come back here, go to Terrain Brush, fix that up. Our shown line is completely different. We have a new dock. This is changed over. We have another dock here. This town is just filled with docks now. So, anyways, we gonna continue with our walls, as I said. So we come back here, go into our base pack, look for walls. They are all in one spot, you see here. All of the walls. So let's make sure we get our entrances in. Now, make sure your tiles are not misaligned. So I won't just put this here because I don't know how it aligns to other tiles, right? You see this doesn't align here. It doesn't align here if you follow it down. So make sure you count it out. I usually do this. Just go 3 by 3 by 3. If I do it this way, I don't always do, but when I do, I make sure I count it. So let's say my road is coming up there. And then let's say we have another entrance to the side here. And I know for a fact there is a pretty cool entrance thanks to Jim Socks, one of our members, who ordered this cool entrance that I want to use here. So let's go to the side again, align things, make sure it's well placed, and let's put it there. There we are, we have our entrances. Now we just have to connect up the walls to it. We go back to our base pack, go down, and we're gonna do our walls. There's also an inner walls, which these are, so you can do an inner wall section as well. It's gonna take a little extra work, but it can be done. But right now I only have one wall segment to the edge, so I'm just gonna place these. Again, changing them as I go. You see it changed 1, 2, 1, 2, so it doesn't look repeated. What you can do also is mirror things, but they're pretty close right now, you see, and it can look a little bit weird. So I just, you know, place them like this. Here you may also use pads and place the walls as pads if you want to. So you go here, right, path tool, and then find the wall, which I think is this one, as the desert wall. Where's the other one? There it is. Again, switch off snapping, make sure it has no fade on it, and then you can align it here. It might take a couple of tries to get it exactly, but there we are. So I can just make sure I connect this to that side. And you can place walls like this as well. If you do this, make sure you put it a layer higher though. If you forgot it, there's no problem. You can select it and then put it one layer above. And now, if you are placing tiles on layer 1, they will go below the wall. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this feature. I'm not gonna go into it too deep in this tutorial because it would take ages. But yeah, feel free to play around with that and see what you can come up with. There's a lot of possibilities using that. Let me know what you find. So, I want to change this around actually. For this wall or entrance to be in a little bit. For more, like better defense basically. So what I'll do is put these inverse corners here. Put some of the other corners at the sides. This music is getting really intense now for building a city. It's like, it's powerful. Okay, so we come back here, place some straight walls, keep going with our little layouts. Here I want another corner. See, this would be the same as this one on this side, so I'll use the other one. It will look better because it's rotated. Your eye doesn't pick it up, see? There's these little tricks you learn along the way. Again, use the other corner. There we go. You have a cool little defensible spot now at the bottom. We're gonna keep going here. Go up, connect to the other wall. There's also other walls inside Rugs and Riches you could use that have these small houses on the outside that are pretty cool. It's like a slums kind of area, right? You can use those. So let's actually do that now for demonstration purposes. The scaling is a bit off because these are a little bit older packs, but we can remedy that in a moment. I'll show you. Actually, this is a good way to show you that as well, how you can fix these issues. So let's do a weird little section like that, because why not? Let's keep going. Where is the other inlet I'm looking for? You see, it's quite handy if you hover for a while. It will show up as a big image, so you can see exactly what you're doing. Let's do a little outcrop like that, because why not? Choose the other one. Oh, actually, that's not what I'm looking for. Here it is. And then do this. And then connect the two. So now you have this little outside living, like slums kind of area. You see the roads connecting up, right? Forming this like one line. That's a theme you will find. I try to place the roads so that they actually form, you know, connecting roads. You see here that like you can like follow a road along. It's just something that comes with the tiles. They generally speaking follow the walls and either straight line, 45 degree, or corner to middle of a tile. You'll see those in a second. Yeah, play around with those if you wish. There's so many road layout possibilities, I couldn't mention them all for you. But you can see there's like 45 degree roads. It's middle to the corner. You see, there's this is used to transition from middle to corner like that. And then there's tiles with no like corner edge to them, you see here, so I can place it there. If I use this, it will like go into the road, those buildings in the middle. So instead I do this, and now the road stays clear. There's like little tricks like that that you'll pick up along the way. So anyways, let's get back to this. Finish off this wall. There we go, and then give it a corner. Neat. So we have our wall. We added a little slum section here, and everything is neat and connected. So now you can fill out the city pretty much. And this area here, we can use a little grass block for now, just to fill it out. What I might also do is go back into Rugs and Riches. There's, I know for a fact, a tile like this with fields, maybe. It might look quite cool. There's also a tile that is just straight houses. I might use this. You know, up to you. Let's use that one for now. So, I want to fill out the city. I'm gonna go back into my base tiles. What I like to do is fill it out completely and then change some tiles. Put some tiles on top of others to put in like major buildings and things of that nature. And markets and things like that. So I'll definitely have a road coming up from the main gate. We're probably going to have a town square here as the two roads connect, right? So I'm looking for a town square of some sort here. And then we need a 45-degree road going up to this location. We need another 45-degree road coming up here, coming down here, and then a straight low road connecting up to the docks. So that's my idea in my head as I start doing this. I might change it as I go, but for now, it is what it is. We're gonna choose some straight road tiles here as we come up. Maybe I actually want a T section here that can connect to the side as well. So let's find that. You see there's a T intersection. So I put it here, so in the future I can connect it to here. Let's say I want another one of these up here, going up there. And then let's say we go here. And then let's say I want some of these like bigger buildings for the middle. Like I want a little avenue. So there's a block that is this one, which connects to an avenue, which have these neatly laid out plants on the sides. Let's see. So let's do this maybe. Like that. And actually, yeah, my town square would be right there. So let's find one that fits. I can maybe use this town square. And it fits up quite nicely with some markets. There's also a cathedral that fits pretty well there as an intersection. However, I want a more open area, so I'm going to use this tile instead, which gives us a nice open square right there. I can also use this one. You see all of the roads connect up, so it's very easy to mix and match. So now let's say I want a little market area, definitely, right next to the docks. So let's provide that. Let's say I want another market area down here. We can add that right now, like so. And it's starting to take shape. Now I just need to connect up this road, which is done quite easily. Find this one, straight road, connect. And then let's say I want a road to connect to the docks here. So to do that, I'll do a corner like this. And then I'll make sure to add a road that has a large open area. There's some squares available, if I can find them. Let's see. Oh, there they are at the bottom. So there's this one and this one. I like this one more because the corner is a little bit open for the road to connect. So here we are. A nice little open area here as well for the docks. You can place some stalls maybe in the future, things like that. Yeah, just keep fitting it out. Find cool connections to roads. Just keep building. So there's these more densely packed areas as well. This one and this one. And there's some other ones like this, which the road layouts are more chaotic. So you can use these and find cool connections. Like that's pretty neat how those roads connect up there. I quite like that, so I might use that. You can also try mirroring, holding Alt A again, and finding cool connections through that. Yeah, there's like, as you can see, there's so many things you can do. It's really hard to like tell you all of the tricks because I don't even know all of them. The community keeps coming up with them all the time. So there you go. That's a pretty funky road layout. I quite like that. So we're going to stick to that now. And then let's say we want some densely packed areas here at the corner. So let's use some of these. Actually, you can use the same tile right next to the other one if you rotate it. And it looks pretty good. But here it's a dock area. So I want more, you know, storage, kind of wooden housing and things like that. So this one works pretty well. But now I would like this to connect to the main road. You see the road leads into the houses there. So I want to look for a T section for this part. And there we go. We're getting somewhere. So I might also do a Small little town square like that for the entrance. There we go. So you can see small roads trying to form, right? You see this like curvy road section here, and there's this big main road coming up and circling around to the side. So we're getting somewhere. Let's try to put in a 45-degree road. This can be tricky, but it's worth it because it can look really cool. Let's say we're gonna replace those buildings here. And I'm gonna start to do a 45-degree road through this part. So now I'm gonna choose a 45-degree road, put it here, choose another one, and come down here. And then we're gonna connect it up to another at the bottom. Like this maybe? There you go. That's a road. And now I want to make sure to use tiles that will fit there and not cut into the road like that. And then we need a road section connecting these two. I'm looking for something quite open. That's the same one. Let's see, this one work? That works pretty good. There we are. Neat. I can also rotate it like this, maybe? Make it fit better? There you go, that's pretty good. So see, the road connects very nicely now. And you just keep going. Choose another one here to the corner. And I really like how that road connects. You see here, that road? That's pretty cool. And I didn't plan that, it just worked out, right? So... Alright, let's keep filling it out. Say I want some densely packed areas here. Keep swapping. That's a pretty funky road. I like to create more chaotic road layout, if I can help it. So now we have this cool little section. This road coming down here. Going down there, connecting to this living area, that road connecting through there. So you can see it is tile based, but the roads are so funky and all over the place, it kind of breaks up the whole tile based look. You can still see the lines, but I'll show you some tricks to make them disappear in a second. So let's just fill out these areas at the side. And then I'll show you what I do to finish the map. This is pretty finished already, but it can be improved quite a bit. So this is a stage where if you want to, you can just stop here and your city would be done. You can use this for your games, and we made this in, let me check actually, 30 minutes or so. So half an hour, you have a capital city that you can very nicely plunge down into your games and then, you know, DM whatever you want, make up backstories for separate parts. But if you want to take it a step further, you can place some more unique spots. Let's say I want a cathedral there. Let's say I want a fort, a defensible position for this cool outcrop of the walls here. So I'm gonna put this down. There you go, it connects nicely there. And let's say I want a couple more things, maybe... let's look in keeps and castles. Is there anything cool? Ooh, a sea fort. There we are. Let's add a sea fort. Maybe up here? The cool things with these is you can rotate them however you want, because you won't be able to see the outline of the tile anyway. See, it merges into the water. So you can just make it fit the shoreline to look cool there. Maybe up here, actually, it's quite an empty area. There we go. Filled it out. Let's say I want some sort of... This is like a university building almost. There's some cool ones in Patreon tiles too. Like this one has a greenhouse that I quite like. So let's say I want to put my university here. That's a decent spot for it. Let's make it fit the road sections though. So maybe down here. It might fit a little bit better. That's not bad. Also put it here. Just on the shores. There we go. And, you know, you can go crazy, add as many as you like. There's so many tiles. Again, it would be suicidal of me to try and, you know, name them all and showcase it all to you. But in your own time, discover all of them, because there's so many cool ones that you can mix and match and make up new stuff. There's this like railroad that we made a while back. And, you know, whatever. You can really go crazy with these and make up your own world and your own stuff. This is a pretty cool one. It fits on top of walls. You can expand wall sections. So yeah. Discover them. Love them. Let me know what you think. There we are. So, to make this a little bit more special, you would like to use assets on top. So we come up here, and we go, oh sorry, we stay at objects, but we come up here to these packs, right? The asset packs. So let's say I want some fields at the bottom here. All I do, I change this to user level 2 to be above the tiles. And then I can choose the fields. These ones, you can size them a little bit. I think the fields are a little bit downsized, to be honest. I might change them in the future. But, you know, however it looks good to you, just use them, rotate them. And this is where it gets very freeform, right? You can do what you like and whatever works for you. There's these like grain fields as well that look pretty cool. Place them on the side. Place some smaller ones here maybe for these people. It's like more lived in section of the walls. There we are. We have some fields. Let's say I want to make a cemetery here. You have these wall sections. You can connect them up. Make a little cemetery, whatever you like. Yeah, that's, again, if there was many options with the tiles, with these you can do basically whatever you want. So I can put these, maybe there's a market in town. So there we go, let's make a market show up. There we are. So now we have a market. There's also some market tiles in the Elven assets that are pretty cool. There we go, now we have a market. So maybe I want a secondary statue here. You see what I mean? You can go crazy. The cool thing I like to do is add some green areas to my cities. So these trees can be quite handy for that. Just pepper it up a little bit with some greenery, if you'd like. Another neat thing is that you can fix these scaling issues that I haven't fixed yet. I will in the very near future, so by the time you're watching this, it might be addressed already. If it isn't, you see these towers, and there's also some other ones like these. Choose whichever you like, and then you can just put this on top and fix that scaling issue of the alt tiles, you see. So there we are. Maybe I want one more tower there. There we go. Now it looks more neat. Same thing for the houses. They look too small or weird because, again, I'm changing the scaling of things. You can come in here, put things on top quite easily. fix this up. I can place separate docks if I want. Make a small village here. Right, you can spend as long as you want. Again, I'm gonna stop this here, but you know, you can just keep going, keep making, putting down new buildings. Maybe they have an orchard at the side. There we go. Maybe they have some nice neat flowers. I don't know. You know what I mean. You just keep building, adding things. And the neat thing is, if you save this as a Dungeondraft file, which I will show you in a second how to do, then you can just keep coming back to it, adding to it, changing it. Let's say I want a road here. Oh, let's change the layer to layer 2. Let's connect this up to our main road. Let's have a road coming down here. You know what I mean? Just keep adding. Assets are one of the best ways to upgrade your maps to the next level. What they're also good for that I want to show you is choose a very generic looking house like this one. This is my personal little trick. See where the grid lines are. You see these coming down there to the sides where the tiles edges are. And you come in here and you place a few of them just at those spots. Just a couple. You don't even need to change to other assets. You choose a very generic looking one. That works pretty well. You place them at some of those spots. Not everywhere, but break it up at some places. You see what I'm saying? So it starts to break up the whole grid look very quickly. So here this line is already hard to tell. Maybe I put one more like there, maybe a different one. So that line is vanished. Right, and you do this for most of the map. You see if I zoom out now, you can't see that straight line anymore. And you do this for all of the map. It should take you like 10 minutes or so to do, but then it won't look like a grid at all. It completely fixes all of that. So yeah, you can spend some extra time and make your maps look really, really super nice with this. Yeah, oh yeah, make sure your scaling is correct though, for the line art to be good. Because if you scale up, the line art scales with it, so it will look out of place a little bit, but there we are. That's it. So I'm gonna stop yapping now, because my voice is going away. And there's not much more to add. I mean, there's a lot more to add, but for me to add to the tutorial. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for supporting me and choosing my tiles and assets. It really means the world to me that I can do this. And I hope that this little tutorial helped you out and gave you some ideas and tips and tricks to what you can do with the tiles. I'll show you my recent map to just show you how you can break the rules I just set in this video and make something really unique and cool. And also how to save. So you just export, and then you don't need to change anything here. You just go and choose a resolution that works for you. You see this map is quite large, so I might want to reduce this to, let's say, 100 pixels. Don't go below 60 really. It starts getting really pixely. 70 is the, like, 60, 70 is the lowest I would go, I would say. But yeah, we reduce the size a little bit and then we export it. Save it. Ignore the messiness of this folder. It's an old folder. But yeah, you just save it here. Name it. Save it as PNG or JPEG. And you're done. You can also save it if you click on save instead of export as a Dungeondraft file. You see some of the ones I have here. You just save it, name it, and then you can keep coming back to it and edit it as it is now as a Dungeondraft file. All the assets will be saved separately. All the paths will be, you know, in there for you to edit. So yeah, it's a very neat way to come back to a map and change it in the future. Let's say I want to remove this road. right? So I just come in here, remove the road. If I can click it. Sometimes it's being naughty, but there you are. So, yeah. Now I want to show you one of my latest maps, Nothington, which is some new ways. It showcases some new ways I found to use the tiles. So you'll see some very unorthodox tile placements here. You see this one? It's like it's at an angle. It's not on the grid. Same thing here. Same thing with these rivers. Same thing with some of these forest tiles. You see this is a tile. That's a tile. I wanted to push the tiles to like how much I can fix with using assets on top. And you see some of these trees are unique assets, individual assets. And then some of them are placed on top of tiles, like here. Some of them are actual tiles, like the shoreline. So, and all of this is assets. All of the roads, all of the walls. Just wanted to show you, like, if you really want to push it with the assets, what they're capable of. And, you know, I'll keep adding more and more to them. So, the possibilities will become pretty much endless. So it's a little snippet of what you can accomplish if you put a little time into it. Quite proud of this map. I think it looks pretty nice. One extra little thing I wanted to show you is if you come into lighting, here at the fourth icon at the side, go into environment, make it nighttime, so put on some dark grayish, bluish, and then choose the light tool. Give it some nice warm glow. You can make some really snazzy looking nighttime maps. So I place a few of these here just to show you. I discovered this not long ago, like how well it works actually. I knew of this feature, I didn't really think of using it for, you know, city maps, to be honest. But I think they work pretty well. So, there you are. Just an idea. Let's say we light the main road. There you go. That's a pretty neat little nighttime map, eh? So, yeah, you know, let's say we make the river magical as well. Because why not? There you go. So you see the lighting effects work pretty well, and they produce some very beautiful coloring on the maps. You can play around with this if you want, and then save this separately as a nighttime version of your map. It's a cool little feature that you can play with. I quite enjoy it, so yeah, you know, try that if you want. See what you can come up with. And with that, I want to thank you very much for joining once more, and see you in my future tutorials. And I plan to make much more drawing videos and all of that stuff, creation process, everything like that. So see you in the next one. Thank you for joining, and as always, happy building. Bye bye.